Last year, when I went to the winter symposium camp with Lee, I went to one of the presentations. A presentation on making just a plain stool. This he gave to us to work. I want to practice my whittling. I want to try different things, and I thought these legs, I've started on one leg. It's going to take a while. That'll be about the deepest I'm going to go because this has got to hold my weight. Now we go through and clean up everything here and make it and start rounding off the areas here. So we want to round those off. So we start working our way down, cleaning it up like this. So here, to make the relief, make it stick out more, as you tidy up, you tighten up that angle, and it will, you can see here how it improves the relief on it. As you start to clean up, your cut becomes, instead of at an angle like this, you start to go that way, which gives you that curve feature plus gets you a little deeper. So I'm in my teeny weeny workshop here, and I thought this is a good time, seeing as I have a whittler, to work on my stool I've been playing with for. And here's what I've been doing. You can see on this leg here, I just made a twirl, whatever you want to call it. Just whittled away at it. This one here, which I'm probably going to work on now, I was just doing some basic whittling things. And this one at the back here, I want to do a little bit more with, more delicate stuff. So gives me the opportunity to try some things, and nice little project. When it's finished, I'll put it together, clean it all up, and it can be my outside the shed stool. Whittle this stick, and you can see I've been doing some whittling on it. I made a round reduction and a square reduction, and just had started on some stuff here just to show you how I whittle. And like I said, I'm no expert, so I'm self-taught. I've been doing it for a long time. When you whittle, you have different tasks you do. You're going to do your heavy whittling, and then your medium cleaning up, and then your fine tuning work. And that's what makes this a nice whittler. It has the blades to do all three. And the trick to doing that is a stop cut. I want to put a gap and then do what I want to do. So all I'm going to do is push down and cut into the wood. A straight cut down. And it doesn't need to be very deep initially, because you can deepen it as you go. And then I'm just going to twist the wood around like this to get my cut all the way around. Hopefully you can see that. Keep going around on it until I have the depth I'm looking for. Now the great thing about a stop cut, watch what happens when I cut towards it. The idea of the stop cut is to stop the blade at the right point. It's like a blocker. If you didn't have that and you're trying to get a perfect line like that, you're going to slip, go over, and when you slip, you're going to catch this and cut it off, and then you're looking for another stick to start again. The way I do it, I'm right-handed, so I hold the knife in my right hand and I use that to control the knife and where it's going. My left hand thumb here, and by the way, I'm cutting away from myself, always, safety first. I'm going to use my thumb to control pushing the knife to get the cut. And you can see I'm just pushing, and it stops right at the stop cut, stops me from going any further. And you can see the pieces falling off. So you would work your way around like that. And you can see I've gone all the way around, and it's a little bit reduced around the edge here, about as deep as I want to go now. Now I'm going to start on this side and go down to form the ridge in the middle. So you get that nice clean cut. Gone both ways on it there, and you can see how that is starting to form. So you can see how going around here on this piece here, it's starting to get around, and I would just work my way around, going along and slowly cleaning it up. Been whittling away the past couple of days on the leg, the one where I wanted to get a little bit more detail into it. Where I'm at right now is I've got it all outlined. Now I have to bring out the detail and raise the relief on it. So here it is here. Up here I worked on the release for quite a while, and now you can see I've made the outline of the rest. Now I've just got to work down from here all the way down to there, cleaning up, getting the relief there. I worked on the other leg where I just did basic cuts using whittlers from Sioux Chicken, and I'm just gonna keep doing that, and then when that's done we can put it all together. What? So I'm finishing up the carving on this, and I've been thinking what I want to do is I want to stain it, but I want to try something with the staining to bring out the rest. So we'll see what happens. And all the raised pieces on this, I want to leave this color, but the lower pieces stain it, and hopefully the raised pieces won't pick up the stain. I'm gonna try it and see what happens. If it doesn't work, I can just stain the whole thing. Don't like this, bro. Oh, and my light just died. Oh, well. So I put the really dark stain on. I'm going to leave it to dry, and then on the raised pieces I want to use a lighter stain, not as dark as the other one, but right now there's too much contrast, and I want to get rid of that. How I put the dark stain, it's kind of hard to see, but you can see what I've done. You can now, it brings out, it really shows up what I carved. But the contrast is just too much, so I'm going to have to blend it down a bit, and that's why I want to go with the lighter stain on it. And then I've got to put the stool together. Whoop. So I put the stain on and everything, and I didn't wait long enough to put the lighter stain on before the darker was dried enough. But I still got a result kind of what I was looking for. Here it is here. And you can see all the carving sticks out now. It's not as bright as it was before. This is just the leg of a stool, but for me, it was good practice. Wanted to try some things out. I think I can make them work. I'm thinking about a walking stick, so maybe doing some fancy stuff with a walking stick. Here is the other leg with just the straightforward basic, the twirly one, the crooked twirl. Now what I'm going to do, this one I haven't done anything to it. What I'm going to do is put the stool together, and then I'm going to cover it with some acrylic just to protect it, because it's going to be kind of in the elements. I'll be using it outside and in the shed, places like that. So I'm going to put it together now and then clean it all up and put acrylic on it. So I just pushed these in here. I wanted a lot of spread on the feet so that it's a little bit more stable, and I've just pushed them in. So now I've got to fix the legs in, and I think what I'm going to do is cut a slit in the top of the legs so that I can put a key in there, or a wedge, and hammer a wedge in there and glue them in, and hopefully that'll be enough to hold them together. So this was the best fit I could find for width on the feet. Once I have that all fixed in, I'll clean up the top here and put some acrylic on. Always clean up afterwards. By the way, I found a place for my files. I didn't know where to put my loose files. Subscriber gave me this idea. Ha! Look at that. Hang them on the cupboard door, he said. Thank you. So now we let that sit and let everything get nice and dry. I'm going to trim these off, and then I may have to fill a little bit, but that's not a big deal. Just make up some sawdust and put it in there, make it nice and smooth, and then give it a good sanding, and then we'll be able to put the acrylic on, and I'll have a place to sit. So after doing all that, I just realized I didn't show you what I did with the rest of that leg by darkening the vine. Maybe you can see it here. So now you can see the light's really bad in here, but you get the idea. I wanted to show that relief, so the only way I could do it was by making the background darker. And if you're wondering why I have these, if you look, this is not level. We have to level the stool. And that is what those are going to be for. After I cut these off and smooth all that down, we'll level out the stool so that I don't tip over when I'm by the fire. So I'm going to leave that overnight, let it dry properly, then I'm going to trim off the tops, and then we'll level the stool. Okay, hopefully a little bit more luck today making the video. You can see I've put wedges in, I put glue, I cut a slot in the legs, put the wedges in, glued it all in, left it overnight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these off. I'm going to need a little bit of filling in these holes. I want to make this nice and smooth. So I'm going to cut these off now. Let's have a look, see. I'll fill the holes. Going to have to let that dry and whatnot. And then I'll have a look. I'll clean it up and see my coal rosing. I can do the coal rosing. My artistic skills aren't that great. But I have a kind of an idea what I can do. I just want to make a little pattern on it. This stool for me has been a test piece, trying different things, trying different knives, that sort of thing. So it's been a good little project. In fact, I'm thinking about doing a bigger one where I have a stool for the shed where I can sit at the bench. Let's get it filled. I'll have to make some magic dust and then we'll go from there. I'm going to have to fill these holes. Well, they're not really holes. There were gaps in here. These pieces that are broken off here were part of when they actually made the top. I don't really care. It's just a stool, and it's not a fancy thing. Like I said, it was a test piece. So here's another test I can do is practice filling with magic dust. So we'll let that dry now, and then I'll sand this whole thing down. And then, okay, it's 2 days later. So now I just want to clean up where I filled it. So you can see here, sandpaper a little bit, get it all smoothed out. So now if you look at it, you can see it's not level, it's sitting at an angle. So the next thing you have to do is level it out. And the way to do that, turn it over, put this thing on a flat level surface that's, you can measure its level. I can't just turn it onto the bench. I built this bench. It's close to level, but not close enough. So what I'm going to do is use this board. We'll level the board, turn it over and mark it up and get all the legs level. Okay, these two are level. This one's too long. I got to cut about ½ an inch off it. a lot better. Not perfect, but hey, going to be sitting outside in the dirt and things like that, so it's close enough. I cut this off, so I got to round these off. As you can see on these, I just took a little bit off there on the feet to stop them from splitting. So we'll just use the trusty peasant, and all I'm going to do is go around and clean these off. Get that sharp edge off. Just like that. So like I said, this stool turned out to be a test piece for me. Try different things when whittling, and it's been a great project. And like I said, I was thinking of doing some patterns on the top, coal rosing, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I'll just leave it like this. This was more about whittling than coal rosing. So I'm going to leave it the way it is. So all I have left to do now is to seal it all up. And I've got some acrylic. I'm going to put a couple of coats on because it's going to need protection. It's going to be outdoors, it's going to be wet, and it's all that good stuff. Here you can see this one, which was the one I spent the most time on. I love doing this. I think this is a really effective pattern, and it's really quick and doesn't require a lot of little stuff, the more delicate stuff. Some regular test pieces for whittling, just showing different ways you can mark up a leg. Well, we're done with it now. I might put another coat on it, but here's the end result. Don't forget now, like, share, subscribe. You know the story. Pretty sure I'll be back again. Gonna be away for 10 days. I've been trying to make videos to post for those that time I'm away. So bear with me here. Probably not gonna be that many videos. There you go. My test stool. I got something to sit on outside and have my cup of coffee and, oh, I don't know, whittle. Just saying. Thanks for watching. And you all be safe out there. See you again soon. Bye.